Up, Woody Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans. They get today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Spy Family Chapter 98. But before we get into this elegant recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and we ain't sponsored by Shueisha, and we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus, and we ain't sponsored by Viz. Considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, it's kind of surprising, right? But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable little spy kitty, who's off on his latest chaotic mission, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below. So last chapter we got to see the start of Martha and Henry's elegant romance. Well, one-sided elegant romance, let's be real, because Martha had the hots for Henry, and Henry just was too dense to see it, let's be real. And we saw them, split up because Henry went to university to become an educator. And at the end of the chapter, we saw them reunite, but this is going to be very interesting because we have the war upon us here. And remember what we saw in Lloyd's backstory when the war was involved, and how heartbreaking, and not just heartbreaking, but how powerful Endo's chapter was for it. I really hope we're going to get something extremely powerful here as well. Oh, I don't think I'm emotionally prepared for this chapter. I don't think I'm emotionally ready for this. But let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us today. Here we go. The smell of war gradually intensifies. You're listening to OBC and now the daytime news. Parliament seems poised to lower the minimum draft age by 2 years. I can't believe you're here, Henry. Shouldn't you still be at university? Never address a teacher by their first name. There's a personnel shortage let me read this again. Never address a teacher by their first name. There's a personnel shortage due to the war, so they shortened the degree program by half a year. Well, that's convenient. Oh, I guess times are tough everywhere. This war of unification will allow us Austinians to wipe out the devil spawn of the West once and for. When radio was first introduced, I believed it would serve to help educate and inform. But all they broadcast lately is an elegant filth intended to stir up anger and hatred. This is very interesting because this is true. Because the first half of this broadcast that we had was informing the people and educating the people on what was happening. Then the second half of it is propaganda. Very interesting, isn't it? But yeah, and it still happens today. It happens, and not just on radio, but on television and all that, and on social media to boot. I think the worst, I would say, where really happens the worst, is on TikTok. From what I've been seeing, we've been seeing the product of that actually is with these LARPs. I mean, protests. Oh, God. You haven't changed a bit, have you? I'm glad to see you looking so well. Nor have you, Martha. What do you mean? Did you fail to notice my new cloak? You've become a scholar. Well done, Martha. That's right, and I've even kept your tea party tradition alive, even if I rarely bother to go myself. Is that right? Then let us have a cup after this. Aww. I'll steep up a pot of my best blend. We talked and talked. Well, mostly I did. I told him how highly I'd placed in last year's ballet competition. Oh, she did what she promised him. And that a recruiter from the Marlov Ballet Company had come to speak to me afterward. Henry, for his part, shared his fury at having been struck by a physics professor. I had so much fun. It was just like the old days, if only for the briefest of moments. Hurry to the shelters, children. I'll not tolerate dawdling just because it's a drill. Did you hear that a school in wait, Trinidad got bombed? Our dorm's tutor in residence? I heard his brother died in the raid. You know what I heard? They're doing human experiments on POWs. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised by that. As a teacher, you're exempt from the draft, right? We're deferred from the draft, not exempt. And I wonder how much longer even that will hold true. What? Really? Even my own relatives are asking if I became a teacher to dodge the draft. How could they? They wonder in this era of kill or be killed what value there is in teaching history. They prefer I teach physics so that my efforts might result in at least one bomb being made. Aww. Well, I agree. Like, I understand what his parents are saying, his family is saying. But at the same time, it's like, I understand what they want him to do. But you can't forget your history. No, history is so important. Because if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. You gotta learn from the past. And hell, there might be some good-ass history in there about bombs. And for the Austinians. There probably is. In relation to wars. Hell, you could probably learn some good thing about the wars from Justinian and from Vestalis, and taking down the West. Like, do they know? No. Just saying. Hell, you could learn about another good example is you could learn about the weapons that the Justinians used and how weaponry has progressed throughout the Justinians' history. Like, there's so much that you could learn in from history. And hell, you could apply the weapon, like stuff from past technology into current technology. So it's like, dude, little things like that matter. See what I mean? It may be that education is powerless now. Well, when you're dealing with closed-minded people, then yes, it is. I mean, God, Tasia, your timing is everything. I have to point this out. When you're dealing with, really closed-minded people, then yes, it is. I mean, look what's happening now. I mean, I'm a Jew, for fuck's sake. I have to deal with this crap all the time. I have to. Where even there's the Christo fascists. Christo fascists hate my people. I've been told that I need to go to hell because my people killed Jesus. No, it was the Romans that did that. It wasn't my people, it was the Romans. I'm just saying. Then I have motherfuckers tell me that there's the anti-Semitism that is happening. Oh my God. They're telling my people to go back to Brooklyn, to go back to Poland and all that. It's like, you don't know shit. You don't know shit about my people. You don't know shit about my people's history. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, that is how important education is on world history. You don't know shit about Mesopotamia. You don't know shit about Israel. You don't know shit about Palestine. You don't know the fact that before the Israelis returned to Israel, and it was when the God damn it, I know people are going to give me shit in my comment section, but it just needs to be said. It's driving me nuts. They found coins from, what was it, like 1922? And guess what? They had Hebrew on it. Just saying. You can look this up. Education is only powerless on people that are stuck in their ways. Education is powerless on the sheep that refuse to listen. And that is not just for one flock. It is for both flocks of sheep. You got to be really drunk on Kool-Aid to refuse to be educated. This is what I have dealt with this all my life. It's very, very frustrating. Oh God, it's so frustrating. You have no idea. Oh no, Martha, you have to see this. The Marla Ballet was caught in an air raid while performing to support war-torn Amber. Oh no, 17 members of the troupe were killed, including its principal ballerina, Johanna. Oh no. I can no longer trust that anything would be there for me forever. Martha, what have you done? I just heard from your homeroom teacher. What? You volunteered for the Women's Defense Auxiliary? What were you thinking? Stop it, what's wrong with you? Then nothing gentlemanly, stop it, what's wrong with you? There's nothing gentlemanly about smacking a table. The ballet company, it's on the news that it would disband. And my dream will die with it. How is that any justification for joining the army? Don't give in to desperation, you could die. There's no way they send the Women's Defense Auxiliary anywhere near the front. In truth, I'd hope to sign up for an officer training program, but they don't allow women. Such idiocy! You must reconsider at once. Well, this explains why Martha is good at combat, and well, we saw it in the previous chapter too. Such idiocy! You must reconsider at once. This senseless, bloody game they call war. You wish to be a part of that? Have you always been such a fool? And you and your precious ideals. If I don't start fighting back, then I'll lose everything. I've lost my dream, and one day I could lose you too. If I don't fight to protect what little I have left, I'm going to lose it all. I don't recall asking you to protect me. Listen, you must withdraw from the auxiliary at once. That's enough. You're the fool, Henry. You just don't get it. Ooh. He don't understand. Do as you wish then. Ooh, I was the most hard-headed of idealists back then. I still believed that the world would change as long as I heeded my principles, so I dug in to defend something that was worth nothing. Education, at its heart, is the act of influencing and inspiring others. But like a clown in a farce, I, the man who waxed poetry about the value of education, had failed to refute a single one of Martha's arguments. It wasn't education that was powerless. I was powerless. Sometimes the thing is, this is where Martha is right. I mean, look. Here's the thing. Look at our country. Look what we have to do as a country. And look what I gotta bring up Israel again for this. Look what Israel's had to deal with. Look at what my and I have family in Israel, and my ancestry literally can be traced back to the 12 tribes. So suck on that. Look what and hell, my people as a whole. Because I know I'm gonna get anti-Semitic watch me get anti-Semitic comments. Watch. But look at it. My people have had to fight for 5,000 years, okay? But we've had to fight for our freedom and everything. But look at what the U.S. has done. The U.S. we've had to fight. We had to fight for our country to get established. In 1776, we had to fight the war in 1812. We've had to continue to fight for our freedom and fight for our we're a constitutional republic. But you know what I mean. Look at what Israel's had to do since when we returned back in 1948. We had to fight like every neighboring country to return. We've had to fight fought in 1967. The war on Yom Kippur, no less. There was the Yom Kippur War, no less. They've always had to fight. So, like, I understand what Martha is saying. Sometimes, whether you like it or not, you have to fight for your ideals. You have to fight to keep your beliefs alive, whether you like it or not. Whether it is, like, literally and physically on the battlefield, or now in this day and age, on the internet. I mean, look what's happening now with the propaganda being spread. People are buying this fucking propaganda. It's unbelievable. I can't believe, sometimes I gotta keep telling myself, you just can't underestimate the power of stupidity. You really can't. It's insane, but it is what it is. I'm just saying. But I hope you understand my examples here. Lend your strength to the battlefront. Donate blood today. Donate blood today. Oh, did you pick out your dress for the graduation party? Oh man, I'm starved. Is there even going to be a party? I wonder if it's true that they're sending everyone with bad grades to join the infantry. Is something the matter, Mr. Henderson? You're looking grim today. It seems my cousin has been killed in a naval battle over the Southern Islands. Is that right? There, but for the grace of God we go. You're the eldest son in your family, right? You'd be wise to find yourself a wife and quickly. After all, who knows when it'll be our turn to get dumped on the front lines. Indeed, my parents have begun pushing marriage prospects on me for much the same reason. Hey, there are worse things, you know. Oh no, I don't, oh poor Martha, I just don't know anymore. What should I do? What do I want to do? I don't want to graduate like this. Gianna, wait. I was wondering if you'd dance with me at the graduation party. Well, of course. I mean, we are staying together after we graduate. Who knows when it'll be our turn to get dumped on the front lines. That's right. I can't just assume that he'll always be here. Yes, Martha! Martha, a uniform. I borrowed it for the graduation ceremony. Yes! Henry, may I have this dance, please? Yes, she did it! You're not a very good dancer, are you? Is dancing not part of being a proper gentleman? It's not that. I'm not terribly coordinated. I try to learn. I've had lessons. How inelegant. Such disrespect towards a faculty member. Just like old times, isn't it? Henry. Sorry, I fucked this up. Just like old times, isn't it, Henry? Forgive me, Martha, you're right. I have been most inelegant. I have failed to respect your feelings. I've dismissed your ideals, even as I've forced my own upon you. I know such behavior to be among the roots of war, and yet I find myself guilty of it. See? He knows. You think too much. You think too much, and yet that side of you, that's one of the things about you that I made up my mind. I will make my feelings clear to you before this dance ends. Henry, it's time I told you how much I've truly come to. No! Damn it! Air raid alarm blares. No! That fucking air raid alarm! Ugh! And also, Viz Media, right here is why it's important to have the opening and closing text. You see how awkward it is not to have it? This is why I translated from the more accurate Spanish version. But man, I really like that. See, when we get chapters like this, I really appreciate them a lot because this is when Tatsuya gives us some really powerful writing. Because this is what this chapter is about. Let's be real, the underlying theme. It's about a war, it's not just a war of ideals, it's a clash of ideals. It really is. This is Henry realizing that his ideal is there about education. It is there and it is correct. But he doesn't have the power to achieve it. It's kind of like, another way of explaining it, it's kind of like Utopia. Utopia, the idea is there, but Utopia is a completely different kind of idea. Utopia cannot exist. It cannot be executed. Education can't be executed. It can't. It really can. And you know what? You can make the argument that it could be kind of like a utopia in that way with education. It just depends on how you perceive it. But I kind of feel like his Henry's idea of education is kind of like a utopia in that way because of how government is corrupt and they kind of want propaganda and that shit in there. And not just that, not just government, but a lot of a lot of teachers, and nowadays anyway, a lot of teachers put their own like personal politics into lessons nowadays. I got lucky, and I'm in California, man. I got lucky with, and when it comes to like history and government and economics and stuff, my teachers did not do that. I got really lucky, and again, I'm in California of all places. I know it's crazy that I'm in California of all places, and I got that lucky that it was, you know, where I dig, where there was a little bit of politics. Surprisingly, it was my English class. My English, it was one of my, it was one of my English classes. Or no, I say it's a couple of them. Yeah, it was my English classes, but each one that I took had a different political stance. It was very interesting. It was. And I remember one of them, and this was in Berkeley, mind you, was against tenure. It was wild. I couldn't believe, of all places in Berkeley, that they were against tenure. I was like, whoa, I could not, I lost my mind that in Berkeley of all places was against tenure. Just crazy. But anyways, what do you guys think of this chapter? And what do you guys think of what Endo is trying to say here, especially from in terms of Martha's point of view? Martha is very realistic, while you have Henry being very idealistic. I really like this clash of principles, this clash of ideas, this clash of principles that we have here. And I really like what Martha said. I think it's very, very important. But what do you guys think of this chapter? Do you think this is one of the more powerful chapters of Spy Family? And do you think this is foreshadowing what we are going to be seeing here in Spy Family? I think this is going to, when we get to probably, I think this is going to foreshadow Yor's decision. I think it will. I really do. Because remember, Lloyd is from Astalis. Yor is from Astinian. I'm telling you, this is going to foreshadow probably the end game of Spy Family with Yor and Lloyd. I think it will. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys think, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Spy Family content. A few ways you can do that: donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.